Who doesn't want to smell and feel like a beautiful fairy or a fairy queen? Powdery scents, powdery perfumes have a tendency to make you smell like either you just dropped from the heavens like a goddess, or you're just coming out of the meadow, you're a beautiful fairy. It just really makes me feel like Tinkerbell, but only like a most sophisticated grown-up version of it. I adore powdery fragrances. They are in particular great for women because they tend to lean feminine, and you know, there are loads of powdery perfumes created for women. So that's what I have here to share with you today. If you want to smell like a celestial figure that just dropped from the heavens, or a whimsical fairy just roaming around in the meadow, this is the video for you. I've got the most feminine, gorgeous, powdery fragrances for women. Hi my lovelies, welcome back to another fabulous fragrance video. Like I said, it's all about smelling like fairies. In this video, I wanted to do this video. I've done one in the past, but I didn't have nearly enough gorgeous powdery scents at the time I filmed that one. Lately, I have acquired the most stunning, feminine, compliment-getting, gorgeous, dripping feminine, fairy-like, goddess-like powdery fragrances. I can't wait to share them all with you in one video. I have talked about some of them, most of them, in many different videos, but I really wanted to dedicate a video to such a lovely category. All right, let's jump right in. This fragrance needs no introduction if you watch my channel. I talked about this, what, a million times now since I got it in the mail. This is one of the most beautiful fragrances from the house of Sorora, which is a very niche fragrance house. It's French, and I have been getting a ton of compliments and feeling like a beautiful fairy queen wearing this. So here is the bottle. It's a frosted bottle, actually, kind of frosted ombre. Usually the caps of Sorora tend to be like a black marble, and this one is actually white marble design. I adore the bottle, and I love how sturdy it is. Like, there's no way you're gonna break this bottle if you accidentally drop it. Now you guys, this one smells like not just any fairy, the boss lady fairy. She commands attention when she enters a room. She is just so gorgeous. Ah, did you see that atomizer? Oh my gosh, you guys, I love this fragrance so much because it's like violet candy in a powdery explosion of sweet violet powdery florals. Am I even making sense? So it's powdery, but it's sweet. It's very sweet. It's got this gorgeous, like almost like, you know, violet candy. You know, like the violet candies. Have you guys seen violet candies? There's another fragrance here that I'm gonna talk about. Probably I'll talk about it next. How about I talk about it next? So, you know, another one that smells like violet candy, but the special thing about this Sorora one is that it's sweet in a very special way. It's got a bit of an almondy nuance to it as well. And that heliotrope in here, yes, it does complement the gorgeous powdery violet note in here, but while it complements the powdery violet, the heliotrope also complements the almond nuance in here, the almond note, because heliotrope does have an almond nuance to it as well. Oh my god, I just love it. It's almost kind of like edible in a very powdery violet almond candy sort of way. It's like this sweet florals exploding in violet candy powder. That's what I meant to say earlier. That's what it smells like to me, you guys. It's like an explosion of violety sweet candies with those beautiful floral notes and that kind of delicious almond nuance in there as well. Absolutely love it. This smells like a beautiful fairy queen just dancing in her purple flowy dress. Absolutely stunning. Oh my god. I mean, it's kind of, so it's powdery, but it's also kind of delicious, if that makes sense to you. Like, I want violet candy when I smell this. Like, I want to eat violet candy. It just puts me in this mood where I want to take a shower in this very nice powdery soap, with the powdery soap, wear a flowy dress, get on like a hammock or something, like a swing, and sit there and eat violet candies, you guys, with this perfume on. That's kind of like what mood it puts me in. Absolutely beautiful. I have a discount code with Sorora. The good news, it's very difficult to get this fragrance at a discount. With the Sorora Fragrance House, directly have a discount code, and I will list every perfume that I'm talking about down in the description box and link them and give you the discount codes if I forget to mention, which I do sometimes. I'm pretty good at remembering to mention, but sometimes I forget. Now, the other one that smells like violet candy is this beauty. I adore this. This is the Guerlain Insolence Eau de Parfum. And actually the Eau de Toilette of this is pretty darn good too, you guys. It smells, I think, a little sweeter than this, but I love how much more powdery this is than the Eau de Toilette. As you can see, this is my second bottle. I stopped wearing this because I want to wear it on special occasions. They discontinued this old B bottle version of this. I don't trust that the new one smells the same as this, although I do plan to purchase a new one, another Insolence, as a backup, and then I'll be able to compare it. I'll bring that video to you if I ever like buy the new version and detect that they're different, then I'll do a video. So I stopped wearing it because I got scared that I'll not be able to get my hands on it. And this is the kind of fragrance that I wear for like this specific kind of time and event, you know, like when I want to feel like an absolutely beautiful fairy, you know, Tinkerbell, only like not the cartoon version, but like a very sophisticated, gorgeous grown-up version, you know. This is very super feminine, clean smelling, gorgeous powdery fragrance, you guys. Very much gives you that whimsical, you know, fairy vibe, or like celestial being vibe, you know. Oh, I love this. I want to spray it. I only wear this for specific things. It is such a beautiful, clean smelling fragrance, you guys. It smells clean. If you like the very kind of demure, pretty girl, clean scents kind of vibe, and you love sophisticated from a house like Guerlain or Chanel, this is the one for you. This has got that old vintage, no, it doesn't make you smell much mature at all. Trust me, this is very youthful smelling. It's powdery, but youthful powdery because of that violet candy vibe in it. If you just wanna, if you had an occasion where you just wanna smell clean, beautiful, celestial vibes, like a Tinkerbell, fairy queen, like you just want those vibes, you know, this is the one for you guys. It's absolutely stunning. I imagine, you know, fairies in a circle in the meadow or in the forest, dancing around eating violet candy, but they're very sophisticated fairies, if that makes sense. They're attending the fairy gala. Okay, so yeah, it's very whimsical, it's gorgeous. There's nothing more beautiful and feminine than this. I am scared to try the new one in case it's different, so I I'm not using this. I'm kind of almost keeping it like in a museum right now. Another stunning, gorgeous Guerlain gem is this L'Eau de Nuit, you guys. Guerlain L'Eau de Nuit. This is one of the most stunning powdery fragrances ever. Here's my spray bottle of it. I just bought this. So this baby smells absolutely stunning. Oh man, I love this. This is actually great for when as a bedtime scent too, but it's way too expensive to wear to bed, if you ask me. Oh my gosh, this again has that gorgeous sort of like calming vibe to it, but gives me again that fairy dancing around without this time the violet candy. This isn't sweet in any way. This is more of a very clean, fresh, floral, powdery scent that actually make me want to have like this deep, very relaxed slumber when I smell it. And it also smells super oozing feminine and just classy through and through, just like a sophisticated, classy fragrance, you guys. This has loads of iris, which is super powdery, and it has a little heliotrope, adds to the powderiness. It has loads of other pretty florals like rose, jasmine, orange blossom even, I think. And you guys, it's really musky, you know, on the dry down, which makes it really again clean and airy and adds sensuality with the sandalwood. Guerlain older lines. This is actually from one of the older collections. It's actually discontinued, you guys. I'm sorry for putting this in here. The only reason I'm doing it is because I know Place Vendôme still has some in stock, or at least did the last time I bought this. That's where I got it from, and I will link down in the description box how to get a hold of Steven from Place Vendôme. Definitely go in the description box, which is where all the discount codes, all the links, all the products will be, and how to get it will be. This is more of a, I love, like this is like the perfect scent to wear to go to sleep, you guys, because it's so relaxing, so soothing. Like if you ever want to have a very relaxing sort of night, this is what I suggest to you. But don't limit this to nighttime. This goes from day to night. Very work appropriate, by the way. If you want to smell super classy, like a classy, sophisticated fairy queen that demands attention, but also very sophisticated and classy in a very old world Guerlain Chanel kind of way, this is the one for you. And here's the actual big bottle. I treat my precious rare ones like this, like they're gemstones, you know, like I sparingly use them. I'm actually very stingy when I spray them on. That's why I don't wear it to bed. I'm so tempted to wear it to bed, but it's way too rare and way too expensive to be wearing it to bed. But one of these nights when I really want to have that super luxurious kind of feeling, I'm gonna wear it to bed, and it's gonna put me right to bed. See, I can't stop smelling my hand. Then I have a beautiful powdery gem from the powdery queen of all fragrance houses, Chanel. Chanel fragrance DNA tend to be either powdery sophisticated or aldehydic type of sophisticated, like clean, crisp, or powdery clean type of fragrances. That's really like the Chanel DNA, that very sophisticated old world kind of, you know, feeling, the luxurious feeling. 1957 is one of my favorites, you guys. This one, did I spray on this one? No, I didn't, so I'll go ahead and spray here. Oh, this is so pretty. This is very powdery and very musky. So it's a powdery musky fragrance. So it's very airy, very light, very easy to wear, very clean girl aesthetic, but more like clean woman that's super sophisticated, super rich, super, you know, luxurious. It's got aldehydes too, so it really makes it kind of clean and crisp, and with that sunny vibes the aldehydes usually give a fragrance. Absolutely beautiful. It's got this very fresh vibe about it. It's got a bit of citruses as well. In the opening, it's especially happy like, because aldehydes give me happy thoughts. I don't know about you. Also pink pepper is in here, so that's also like a soft spice that gives you like nice feelings in your brain, you know. And loads of musk, again very airy and very ethereal because of the musks. Got very delicate florals, obviously jasmine, orange blossom type of notes that you need to have in here. Loads of like powdery notes. I'm willing to bet there's violet in here and a little bit of iris, but not a lot of iris, because it doesn't smell lipsticky like it does when you have the iris note in here. This is more powdery in a more floral, crisp, fresh kind of way. Beautiful. Few very good fragrance for work, sophisticated, any kind of event, daytime wear mostly. It can go day to night, but absolutely stunning. I'm regretting not getting the parfum version of it. This is the Eau de Parfum. The parfum version is a little more concentrated, which brings me to the next fragrance from Chanel. This is Chanel 1932. This is the parfum. Of course, you get a tiny bottle because it's super concentrated. I'm not even going to dab this, you guys. I'm just going to use the dabber to smell it. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. This has got loads of iris, but in a very crisp way. The lipstick feeling of the iris isn't as dominant in here. It's more like mixed with almost like violet a lot, I think, and other florals like jasmine. In the opening, it's got a little bit of aldehydes and citruses that gives you that sort of psh, kind of like sparkly, happy opening. Has a little pear, which makes it always so feminine. The juicy pear. Pear is a very feminine leaning fragrance, fruity fragrance note. It's got a slight hint of smoky in the base, but very light bit of smoky, not a heavy thick smoky, very light smoky to give that sort of like sophistication to it. In the base, it's incense, loads of powdery notes in the base as well, probably iris, and I'm pretty sure this has some earthiness from vetiver, but beautiful fragrance. This is the concentrated parfum version. I only use dab, 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 dab. Again, for very high-end, formal type of occasions, I wear it. Here's another gorgeous, sweet, powdery beauty. This is another fragrance that gives me whimsical vibes, the Tinkerbell vibes. It smells like a beautiful Tinkerbell type of mythical creature, you know? Smells absolutely super feminine. I'm gonna spray it right here. This is Ex Nihilo Sweet Morphine, if I forgot to mention. Oh, you guys, this is even more gorgeous in some ways than others, because this actually has lilacs, which is one of my all-time favorite powdery blue purple florals ever. Lilacs have this very distinct kind of sweet smell that just so alluring and dripping feminine, and this is mixed with the beautiful iris, the typical more lipsticky kind of powderiness iris gives. There's rose, all these like mimosa, which is like a very, what do I say, like a sparkling, clean smelling floral, you know. And it's got loads of vanilla in the base, gives it the sweetness, the sweet part of the sweet morphine. It's very addicting, which is why they call it sweet morphine. And a very little hint of earthiness. Smells again like Tinkerbell flying around, you know, just being whimsical and magical, you know. It's very addicting, very, very pretty girly scent. Sweet, one of the sweeter powdery fragrances, kind of like Sorora, mellow, but you know, like not the same obviously, but on that sort of sweet side. Okay, my next fragrance isn't the most powdery, but it is also powdery. It's more like sweet white and blue purple florals. Yeah, it has powdery florals, but it's not the most powdery, like the Guerlain Insolence or the other ones that, you know, Mallow or any of those things I just talked about. This is less powdery, but nonetheless makes me feel like a beautiful butterfly, beautiful fairy. It's one of those gorgeous ethereal goddess-like fragrances that you can't get enough of. It's got the best aromas, and not to mention, you guys, oh, hold on a minute, hold that thought. This gorgeous bottle is to die for. Take a look at this cap. Isn't that nice? Oh my gosh, so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is one of the most stunning, beautiful, womanly, girly. This is not your ordinary Roja Parfums fragrance, you guys. By the way, this is Elysium by Roja Parfums. I forgot to mention it. Some of you asked me if this is like Roja Parfums Creation E. No, it's not. This is not like your typical Roja Parfums fragrance. I'm really glad that he kind of went in a different direction with this fragrance instead of doing that typical white floral dominant fragrance, right? This has white florals, but they're not the dominant florals in here. I almost want to say there's a sweet, again, it makes me feel like a beautiful butterfly queen, a butterfly fairy. This one's more like a butterfly fairy, you know, because of like the cocktail of the gorgeous florals that are not just blue purple or not just white florals. You get what I mean? But it has that powdery whimsy that I absolutely love, that makes me feel like a celestial, mythical kind of bee. The next beautiful butterfly queen smelling one is right here, and it's even called Green Butterfly. My husband can't get enough of this on me, you guys. He adores this. He's not usually like huge into powdery fragrances, which he loves some of them. He actually loves the Sorora one a lot. I mean, I usually notice him loving the more beachy sort of like solar ones more on me, but yeah, he does. He loves this one a lot. Almost to the point that I brought it on our last vacation. He insisted. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. It has this beautiful powdery violet and iris notes, you guys. It's beautiful, very powdery. Loads of vanilla in here that really makes it kind of sweet. It's got that sweetness not just from the vanilla in the base, but there's a beautiful chocolate note, you guys, in the opening with that beautiful iris absolute and a little bit of orange blossom that it has as well. Loads, like an explosion of white musks in the middle or base. It just gives it like this airy sort of, you know, like ethereal kind of feeling. And it's sexy because there's actually a suede note. So don't be fooled by the ethereal nature or the cute, sophisticated, fairy kind of vibes in the opening, because it dries down sort of sexy. So this is like your naughty fairy, you know, like kind of sexy fairy. It has that little bit of suede in the base that makes it really sweet. Actually, the dry down reminds me a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of the sweet suede dry down of Luby Raj, you guys, believe it or not. And it's got a very sensual sandalwood note in the base with other exotic woods. It's so beautiful. I love it. Very sexy. And it's not just sophisticated, not just whimsical, not just fairy queen, fairy butterfly queen is what this is. But again, it's like this butterfly, you know, fluttering around, but it's a sexy one. It's a sexy fairy butterfly queen, you know. She's like no nonsense, and she's a little naughty too. So that's what this is. Next powdery fragrance is actually a designer fragrance. This is My Way Parfum. This is in no way like the original My Way or the second My Way, which also has, I think, is it Intense? I can't remember what it's called, but it's nothing like that. This is different, in a completely different direction. This, you guys, does have the white florals like the other two, but this has the most beautiful iris paleta note, which isn't a cheap note, by the way, you guys. I mean, kudos to Giorgio Armani for doing that with a designer fragrance. I mean, there are certain niche houses that are churning out fragrances with very low ingredient quality ingredients that are calling themselves niche with a bunch of influencers. They're trying to market all that stuff. That's why their perfumes have no longevity, no like sillage, no projection. That's why. Whereas you get these type of affordable designer fragrances for it's much bigger bang for your buck. Okay, if you're gonna go niche, go all the way niche, like a French, proper niche fragrance house. Don't kid yourself. Either do quality designer or real niche, like Sorora or like Room 1015, Unknown Nomad, M. McLuff. Do that. This, you guys, is different because this does have tuberose like the other two, but this, you guys, has that Iris Pallida note, which is expensive, by the way. It is this certain type of iris that has that lipstick makeup vibe even more than iris. Like, it smells like this burlesque dancer, or like a cabaret dancer in Paris, getting dressed like all in red, putting on red lipstick in front of like this lit mirror. That's what I think of when I smell that lipsticky, powdery iris note. It's got, beautiful like orange blossom too, and some beautiful citruses in the opening, little vanilla and some musks. Beautiful fragrance. That's really what I think of when I smell it. Speaking of lipstick, here's another one. Juliet Has a Gun, very powdery and lipsticky. Let me smell it, spray it right here. Oh, this one goes in yet a complete different direction from the rest I just talked about. Did I tell you what this is? This is Juliet Has a Gun Lipstick Fever, okay? Obviously smells like lipstick. This one, you guys, is a battle between that lipsticky vibe from the iris and the sort of almost edible earthiness that is coming from the patchouli and the woodiness that comes from the woody notes. So it's kind of like a lipsticky, powdery but woody, earthy fragrance, if that makes sense. It's super powdery though, super powdery. It's got a sweet sort of fruity opening with the raspberry, with that very powdery violet, very sophisticated, but then you get a lot of that lipsticky iris with quite a bit of patchouli. So iris and patchouli are kind of like neck and neck. In my opinion, it takes a little bit of it away from the lipstick powdery vibe, but they work really well to be different from the rest of the powdery fragrances though, you guys. But the patchouli in here is a beautiful sweet patchouli, like the sweet patchouli that is in Kriegler Lovely Patchouli 55 Night. So it's a very almost edible, sweet, gourmand, almost earthy patchouli, not your dirty, dirt smelling patchouli. This is very woody as well, got a bit of sweetness that adds to that patchouli in the base from the vanilla. Beautiful. It's very much like again a cabaret dancer type of fragrance. This is Après Envie, you guys. This one is absolutely stunning. This one, oh man, Guerlain knows how to do a gorgeous powdery fragrance. This smells so ethereal. It really is probably the most fairy-like one out of all of these. I know, even with all of this, I feel like this just really tricks me directly. I feel like I could fly, like I'm like this gorgeous fairy creature. I don't know how to describe it. It's got a slight sweetness about it too, but not an obvious kind of sweetness like Mellow or even Insolence. It has that beautiful powdery iris note that's just so ethereal in here. Not lipsticky, but very powdery and ethereal, classy kind of way. Probably mixed with violets too somewhere. But this has a carnation note, you guys. This is the kind of floral note that doesn't really have a scent, that it's actually up to the interpretation of the perfumer. So whenever you see like the note carnation in a fragrance, it can be interpreted by the perfumer in a different way, and in this it was interpreted the most stunning kind of way, very sweet ethereal kind of way. I can't quite describe this carnation note because it's very unique to this fragrance. It was up to the perfumer. This carnation kind of has like notes of like rose and a little bit like a slightly spicy rose. So it's very, very interesting mixed with the beautiful powdery blue purple florals like iris. So pretty, so pretty. I love this. This one is very much like a celestial being, or very whimsical, but in a very kind of classy, super clean, gorgeous kind of way. It's hard to describe. Absolutely stunning. This is not discontinued. This is actually a new bottle. This is still there. I'm so glad it's still there, because you know what? It's going to be a fragrance that I wear a lot this spring and summer. Another super powdery old world sophistication is right here. I love this. This is, I have to be in the mood to wear this though, I will be honest. It is super whimsical but sophisticated whimsical. Very different mythical creature, but a black tie gala mythical creature, if it even makes sense. Very businesslike but very super sophisticated. Has that Chanel DNA. By the way, this is Chanel number 19 Poudre. Okay, so I also have Chanel number 19 here, which is very green. It leans more green, whereas this is green but also powdery. It's Poudre, like obviously it means powdery. So this one, you guys, has a frosted cap. This is beautifully green and powdery, almost like a fairy mythical creature in a wooded forest, you know, in the woods. It's very you have to be in a certain mood to wear this though. This is like not your sweet violet candy fairy. This is more like that, almost like a nymph, like she's dressed in ivy, you know, and it's in green, nymphy fairy, okay, because she smells a little bit like the woods and a little bit like the greens in the woods, but also very sexy and powdery and sophisticated from the beautiful blue violets and iris she's wearing in her hair, all down the hair. That type of fragrance. The dry down is to die for. That's what's most powdery. The opening is a little more green than powdery. It's got like galbanum, you know, which has like a very specific, it almost has like this very sharp green smell to it, which is where the green woodsy vibe that this gets from. Galbanum is kind of like a greenish, bitter green kind of note, which gives it like a very whimsical, woodsy, like mythical creature vibe. It's got loads of neroli, some citruses, like I think mandarin orange is a syrupy citrus, loads of iris, very powdery with jasmine, and it has a little bit of tonka bean in the dry down, which gives it vanilla, deep vanilla vibes without making it too sweet. It would have been a bad thing for this to be sweet. Loads of musk, obviously, but this is one of those super sophisticated fragrances that you want to wear to a black tie affair. Okay, you guys, absolutely stunning, beautiful. Then I have a very, again, tea party type lady right here. This is like what I literally wear when I throw a tea party for my daughter or guests or anybody, or a garden party of any sort. I'm always in the mood for this. This reminds me of like garden parties. This is Penhaligon's, the favorite. This one, you guys, is super beautiful. It's like very kind of almost like, it's a floral, slightly sweet, powdery fragrance. There again, makes me feel very dressed up, buttoned up, but classy, but sweet, but very girly type of fragrance. This one has more of like that floral type nuances to it. It has a bit of a juiciness and sweetness from the mandarin orange. It's a syrupy citrus, not your sharp citrus like bergamot, you know. So it's got this violet in the opening. That's what gives it this powderiness in the opening, very sophisticated powderiness. And then it has that classic combo of iris, which gives you the powdery lipstick kind of vibe, but this doesn't smell very lipsticky at all. You can sometimes moderate that lipsticky vibe of iris with other notes. In this case, it's mimosa. Mimosa is a very bright, sort of fresh type of floral note that's very bright, that like kept it from smelling lipsticky. Loads of musk, which makes it very airy. It's not a super projecting fragrance. It's not going to project to the other end of the world. It's more of a close contact type of fragrance. Let's say you threw a garden party and you walk past, you can get a little sillage, that very ethereal sillage. You go to hug guests or welcome guests, then they can smell you type of fragrance. Has, of course, a nice musky, sensual dry down with musk and sandalwood and whatnot. The favorite, very classy, I mean, from the bottle to the scent. Then I have Amouage Lilac Love. This is not your iris type of powdery at all, and it's not even the most powdery fragrance, but I wanted to include this in this video because it is powdery in a sweet, different kind of way, and it does make me feel kind of whimsical, like a fairy, butterfly, sweet fairy, you know. So let me spray it a little bit here. This one has that beautiful, delicious cacao note in here with that tonka bean and vanilla. So it has this sort of sweetness about it with that cacao, but it's like the chocolate powder kind of powderiness this one has. And the floral in here is obviously lilac. It's Lilac Love by Amouage. The lilac has a different kind of powderiness from iris and violet. It's less that type of powdery, less powdery, less lipstick powdery. It's more sweet sort of powdery. Lilac has a more floral powdery. So mixed with the heliotrope, which also is kind of powdery, and does have that almond nuance, which really goes with like the chocolate, the cacao note in here. You guys, it's got loads of other florals. There's a little bit of sandalwood in the dry down, obviously. Beautiful. It does make me feel like a mythical creature. Very girly, very feminine, very different from the average fragrance you smell. This is probably one that you want to smell first before you buy, because not everybody, I mean, all of these fragrances, if you're not into powdery fragrances, if you're not into smelling like a fairy or a mythical creature or a goddess or anything like that, don't try these. These are for those women, ladies who love to smell like a total mythical creature that just fell from the heavens or walked out of the meadow. Okay? So yeah. Okay, you guys, those are my gorgeous powdery fragrances that make me keep feeling like some sort of magical, mythical, celestial, fairy, goddess, butterfly queen type of figure. Okay, it makes me feel super uber feminine, more important than anything else. You can't make a woman smell and feel more feminine than this type of powdery scents. Okay, if you want to feel like a woman, here you are. This is what you wear. These are not for the dudes at all. These are feminine, super ultra feminine fragrances. Unfortunately, Mallow as well is not a unisex. I gotta say, very feminine. So yeah, I mean, if you want to smell like, you know, that, totally fine, you know, fellas, but it is going to smell feminine. And I just wanted to share these stunning beauties with you. Let me know down in the comments section, what are your favorite beautiful mythical creature, fairy, goddess, queen type of fragrances that you love? Have I missed any? I think I pretty much have all the good powdery fragrances right here, you guys. Unless they come out, unless Guerlain or Chanel or one of those houses that make this type of stunning beauties come out with a new one, I think I pretty much have it all here. Let me know down in the comment section what you think. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. It helps me grow my community. If you're watching my videos, why not subscribe? That way you don't miss any of my videos. But you also have to ring that notification bell. If you don't, YouTube will take the liberty to unsubscribe you. Did you know that? That could happen if you not only subscribe but also click the notification bell, because they have to be absolutely sure you want to see my videos. Okay, you guys? And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and head on over to my makeup and beauty channel, Cleo Luxe Life, where I just uploaded my current favorites, a video about my current favorites. It's got some really awesome stuff. Go check it out. I will see you guys in my next video.